So hi all, this is another video lecture on SQL. So today we will be doing trips and users. This is a hard category problem on LeetCode. So this problem statement contains two tables. One is the trips and another is the users. So in the trips table, ID is the primary key of this table and it holds all the taxi trips. Each trip has a unique ID, while client ID and driver ID are foreign key to the user ID of the user table. So this client ID and driver ID, okay, these are foreign keys to this user ID of the user table. What does this mean? This means that this particular user table has both the client names and the driver names. So the client is also a user and the driver is also a user, and it contains the value for both the client ID and the driver ID. Okay. Status is enum of type completed, cancelled by driver and cancelled by client. Okay, so it contains the status that what all trips have been completed, which trip has been cancelled by the driver and which trip has been cancelled by the client. And request at, okay, so request at, it actually is a date. Okay, if you can just see, where request at is actually a date, okay, when it was requested. User contains the user ID as the primary key, and each user ID has a unique role. So the role will be client, driver or partner. So obviously there will be three kinds of user. One is the client who will be in the car, one is the driver who will be driving that car, and one it can be a partner. Okay, band is actually an enum which is of category yes and no, so it is going to be having a status where either the client is banned or the driver is banned. Okay, now it is defining a factor. This is a parameter. Cancellation rate is computed by dividing the number of cancelled by driver or client requests with unbanned users by total number of requests with unbanned users on that day. So what does this mean? In the users table, if we have any person or any ID which is banned, we will not be considering them. That will not be in our data set. Okay, so we should be removing all those people who are banned from our trips table. We will not even calculate them. Okay, consider them. So our denominator becomes the unbanned user, and among these unbanned users we need to find out which all rides have been cancelled by driver or client. Okay, so it can be cancelled by driver or cancelled by client. So if you look at this, write a solution to find the cancellation rate of requests with unbanned users. Both driver and client must not be banned each day between 1st of October 2013 to 3rd of October 2013 with at least one trip. And we need to round this cancellation rate to 2 decimal points. We can return the result in any order. So if you can look at this, 1 to 4 and 10 to 13, okay, is the unique client IDs and driver IDs, and all of them, they are present in the user ID. Okay, only 2 is banned. So if we look at this client ID 2, only client ID 2 is banned. So whichever row is associated where the client ID is 2, we will not even consider that particular row. So this will not be considered, this will not be considered, and 8 will not be considered. The remaining will be our data set. That will be our first task to do. Okay, second one is that out of the remaining, if you can just see, it's also there in the explanation, there were 4 requests in total for 2013, 1st of October 2013. So if you can just see, there are 4 requests. Okay, if I remove the second, only we are left with 3 requests, and out of these 3 requests, only one of them is cancelled by client, right? So the cancellation rate becomes 1 divided by total, that is 3, and that is what is 0.33. In the same way, if you can just see that 6 is banned, so we won't consider 6. Okay, and we are only left with 2 of the data item for 2nd of October. Both are completed, so because there are no cancelled people, so it will be 0 by 2, which is 0. And in 3rd of October 2013, this 8, the row number 8 over here, this will not be considered because it has client number 2, so we discard this. Only 2 of the data items for 3rd of October is considered, in which the driver is cancelled over here. So the cancellation rate will be 1 by 2, which is 0.5, which is mentioned here. Exactly the same thing is explained over here in details. Okay. So now we have to code it up. Now we have to write the query. So how we are going to start it? First and foremost, we are going to remove the banned users, right? Whatever users are banned, we will be removing it from the trips data set. So let us write that query. Okay, so select everything from trips, okay, as T, where T dot client ID, okay, is not in, okay, it is not in which set? From all the users which are banned in the user table, right? So all the user ID, okay, from the users where banned is equals to yes, right? Banned is equals to yes. And this is very important, role, and let me write this in brackets, role is equals to, either it can be a client or role can be a driver, because there is another role which is of partner, and it is specifically said that it has, the band must be driver or client, right? And T dot driver ID. So for client ID we have done T dot driver ID is equals to sorry, not equals to, this same thing. So I will be copying it and pasting it here. Okay, not in this, correct? So if I run this one, it will remove all those rows which have the unbanned, which have the banned users. Okay, what it is saying, unknown column user ID. Okay, it will be users ID. It will be users ID. Okay, so now if I go down, you will see that, see, it has removed second, sixth and eighth column. So now we are left with all those people which are not banned. Okay, so we have cleared up our data, correct? Now let me store this in our in a temporary table. Okay, so temp as this. Okay, here. Now select T dot. Now what we need? We need the data in date wise form, right? For all these dates, 3 dates. Okay, so we are going to group them on the basis of date. So obviously if we are going to group it, we need to include that column. Obviously we need to show that column. So T dot request at, and let me write this as day, so that is how we have to display, comma. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to calculate the cancellation rate. How we are going to do it? If I am going to change this, you see there are 3 categories, right? If I am going to you know, what we can say, if I'm going to assign a code to each and every one of these categories, right? If completed is 0 and cancelled is 1, because we need the cancelled values at the top. So we need to count the cancelled items. So if anything that is cancelled by client or cancelled by the driver, we can assign that value as 1. Or if the completed is 0, the rest will be 1, correct? So we can do that. So what we need to do, we need to assign the values based on status. So status, wherever the status completed, we will be giving that as 0 value, and wherever, and the rest of them will be given as 1 value. Okay, so this we can do it using case statement. Okay, this is same as switch statement. So case when T dot status, okay, is equals to completed, then 0, correct, else 1, correct, else 1, and then we are going to end this. end this, right, end this, and as what is going to be the value? Cancellation rate, correct? Cancellation rate. Now obviously this is just going to assign it, this is not the cancellation rate, right? What we need to do, this is going to give this is going to provide all the values. This is going to like categorize completed is 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, right? But I need to get all the values, sum all the values which are cancelled. So I need to perform a sum operation, which is an aggregation function. Okay, and wherever there is an aggregation function, okay, we will have a group by case, right? So we need to sum it, and then we need to divide it by what? The total number of statuses, right? So count of t dot status, correct? T dot status as cancellation rate, right? And then from temp as t group by t dot request underscore at, okay, t dot request underscore at, and I think this should do this task, correct? This should do the task. If I run this, it will be grouping it on the basis of cancellation rate. No, it has not. What is the issue? My answer is okay, we need to round it to 2 decimal places. Okay, in that particular case we can use the round function. Okay, we can use the round function, round over here, comma 2. Okay, let's now run this. Now I think it should succeed. Okay, case 1 has succeeded, where has case 2 for? Yes, cancellation rate is 1. Why? Okay, wait, is the date? Yes, so I thought only 3 dates can come, 1 2 and 3, but here 4th date has come. So we need to apply one more condition here, okay, where we need to put a constraint on the dates. So dates having, okay, having t dot request underscore at greater than equals to, so the lower value will be 2013 dash 10 dash 01, okay, and t dot request at less than equals to 2013 1003. Now I think it should succeed. This has succeeded. Let me submit. Okay, so as you can see, it beats 85.77. Runtime is 554 millisecond. So the solution is pretty efficient. This was a pretty it's a lengthy problem for anyone who is solving it for the first time. Okay, it can be pretty challenging because the problem statement is not really very easy to understand. Okay, so you need to read the question thoroughly and you need to properly understand it. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed this one. If you did, then please subscribe to my channel and please like and please press the bell icon for notification. Thank you very much.